I'm with Tanya Lukomsky, who is a volunteer with Christian Friends of Israel. Now, you minister with Holocaust survivors. Tell us about the work that you're doing.
We are visiting Holocaust survivors and their home, and we are establishing friendships with these people, the precious people. And it's already for 24 years that we gained the trust and tear the walls, because when we just arrived and started visiting them, they were afraid when we were calling them and saying, "Here we're Christians, we want to visit you," and they hang off phones on us saying, "Well, we don't want to do nothing with the Christians." And it took 24 years to become wonderful friends and more than the friends, like family members. And yes, so we are strengthening ties, like making events for them. We coming to take care for anything they like. Sometimes it's cooking, sometimes we don't know where we end, but we just there for them.
How many Holocaust survivors do you minister to?
On our database, we have 430. But with the years, some people are passing away and some people taking new visits and new people. And I guess it's maybe like 8,000 people that went through our organization through these 24 years of Holocaust survivor visited. We took their stories and established the friendships. And even some of them, they're still alive. And I have those people are still friends with us.
I imagine there's a little bit of sadness in your work as well because of, like you've just said, that they're getting older and they're dying off, and which is obviously inevitable because they're getting very old. So there must be sadness amongst the joy of the work that you're doing.
Absolutely, but it's a great privilege as well to accompany them in their kind of a last walk towards eternity, to being with the Lord. And it's great joy, it's a great privilege, and I even don't sometimes feel sadness because it's so fulfilling. It's fulfilling to see their eyes open, like they towards God, towards eternity, and you also feel like divine and eternal friendships that it's never would end, and actually it remains. It's not go anywhere. It's in my heart until I am alive. I remember each one of them, and I think God keeps it. It's it's a great comfort for me.
The first part of their life was full of hatred through the Nazi occupation, and then the latter part of their life is full of love, Christians sharing love, so that must be exciting for them, and a good way to end your life as well, just knowing that Christians actually do love you.
I think it gives them makes a revolution in their mindset, what is going on, and for many it opens their eyes towards faith in God, because they see different expression of faith that people would they gave up everything to come here and to be with them. Like many of us, we are volunteers, people who came from the nations, left their families, and actually what they have, it's the family is people here, and they invest their time. The time, it's most precious thing that we have, we possess in this world. And actually those volunteers, Christians who came, they giving up their time. Like when we are with our friends, with Holocaust survivors, we never watch the watch, we never look at our watch, the time, because for them we have all the time that we have, and we're ready to spend with them, be with them. I think they feel it. They absolutely feel it and appreciate it.
Many of them have gone through terrible, terrible horrors. So do they question God sometimes? Why did God allow this to happen to me?
Maybe in the beginning of my path, I saw people who ask this question. But actually, it's more people who was not in Holocaust, probably their children or some other Israelis who live here. But I would say 95% or 90% of survivors, Holocaust survivors who've been in concentration camp and ghetto, they would say, I know I am survived because it must be God, because I survived these horrors.
What sort of stories do they share with you?
It's different. Sometimes they're just talking about life, about challenges in their life today, some their nice habits they have, but also from time to time they pop in some stories, like a reminder. It's remind them this story from the camp, and lately even more than the previous days, they're more open to share the stories. Some people that they never was ready to share, suddenly they open their heart, and it's like a river flows from their heart. They sharing everything, going in the most, horrible details, or explaining the situations. And I think because for them it's kind of a last opportunity. They feel that they go out of this world and they feel this necessity that their story would be heard. And some of them, for the reason of to prevent in history this happened again, or for some it's just being heard, that the world would hear about things that could happen or that happened.
What sort of horrors did they see?
I think for each one, it's in a different degree, but most of people whom I spoke, they were children. And for example, I remember the story of one man, and for him was so horrible. He was saying, we were so tired, we were working days, and it was non-stop, and my mom was tired, was carrying someone, and I was 5 years old, and she set me, because it was so cold, and it was a wet ground, and preventing me to get sick, she put me on the dead body, that I would sit on dead body, and my feet was in the mud. And in the morning, he said, and I fell to sleep on this dead body. And then when I woke up, my feet was frozen in the mud, because mud, like all kind of like it's horrible stories when you try to imagine like a 5 years old or 6 years old boy, and people that someone explaining like he lost his mother in front of his eyes, or yes, like separation of children with their parents, of seeing their parents being killed or being humiliated in front of their eyes, or loss of their close ones in the family. Till today, many of them, some of them they even having dementia, but till today they would tell the story how they were carrying this piece of bread for his sister or his brother, and coming to the room, and he saw that his brother already passed away, and he said, till today I'm saying, forgive me, Raichka, that I didn't make it in time.
A load of Holocaust survivors came together to commemorate the Nazi invasion of the Soviet Union. Tell us about that.
I think for this particular reason, those people, they carry a lot of life in them. They are fighters and they are survivors, and what they want, like all their life, is manifestation of life, of force of life. And each occasion they want to come together, see each other, to encourage each other. They appreciate each other. And because of the wars that happened recently, they didn't have much opportunity. For example, they wanted to come on 9th of May, which is day of commemoration of great victory over the Nazis Germany, but they could not do it, could not plan, because they didn't know if the war would start again and it wouldn't be possible to come together. But using this opportunity when the break and peacetime, so they just choose this date as well to come together. And in spite of the horror started for them this day, they are here, they survived the war, and they also want to say to themselves, to each other, and also to the all people around, we are alive, Am Israel Chai, and we're going to live, we're going to dance, we're going to enjoy.
How many Holocaust survivors came for this event, and was it from all over Israel?
Yes, it was from 22 different local towns in Israel, and it was amazing because most of them, it's more than their age, more than 85 years old. And it's not easy to take a train, because only few people who took the family members brought them by car, but most of them came by trains, and they had to take buses, local buses, to get to the train station. It's quite a way, maybe 2 hours from home. And maybe it was less people than was expected, but they arrived, and of course I can see some of them were sad not seeing this person that usually comes because he's in a hospital, or him who could not make it. But they who arrived, they were very happy to be there, and they made most of that time. And I shared these pictures on my reports. It's amazing pictures where you can see the joy, the true joy, and in spite of the sicknesses and maybe pain, because many of them, like all of them, they have different sicknesses. Like they all coming with walkers, with sticks, but they're coming.
But they're coming, yeah. Now, you went to visit a Holocaust survivor who also survived October 7th massacre. Tell us about that.
Yes, we visited a couple who lived in Afakim, and he is a Holocaust survivor, and she was in evacuation. Her husband just passed away a year ago, and we visited both of them. And yes, it's difficult. It's because of him. They survived October 7. She said in the morning, it was 6 o'clock, she went to the kitchen to take a glass of water, and when she looked out of the window, she saw the Arab guy just be across the fence, and she said that their eyes met, and inside of her she felt like a stone, like hit her. The stone hit her heart, and she started shaking. And she couldn't realize what is going on, but she had this bad feeling. Then she started hearing the speech, the Arab speech, and also bullets shooting. And then she said that she went to her room and she said it to her husband. And her husband, was very sick. She was sick. She was taking care of him. And he told her, we have to get away out of our flat. And so they put themselves together and they decided to go upstairs to their neighbors. And actually what she was saying, that the terrorists, they were entering the flats on the first floor and also the bomb shelters. They were going to the bomb shelters knowing that there are many people there, and they were shooting these people and also killing them. And it saved their lives that they actually didn't go to the bomb shelter but decided to go up to their neighbors. And I think it's very special because it was bombing, and usually when you hear bombing and the rockets falling, you want to go to the bomb shelter, but they didn't go, and it saved their life. But till today, she tells us that she never forget the eyes of this man. And then she told us, we went out of her apartment, and she told us, then I saw this person dead. He was laying in this place. And she was showing us this place where it was body of this man. And she was saying, I cannot believe that I saw that body. Like for them, because they very much, for them, life is sacred. They cherish life. And it's impossible to see someone dead. Like, she has a post-traumatic syndrome, this lady. She's depressed, she's in medication. She have hard to fall asleep.
Very difficult times. Do Holocaust survivors still suffer from the trauma of the Holocaust over 70 years ago today?
It's very difficult for me I see more young people in the worse condition than the Holocaust survivors. I see those people as heroes because they were managed to build their lives, they raise their children, the amazing people, the dignities that they have, the lives they have, like, I don't see any issues coming, like they're very generous, they're very offering. And I see more like young people and young generation, like something is missing, like not able to Once my colleague, her nephew, came to one of the events with the Holocaust survivors, and after event he said, I couldn't believe they have much more life inside of them that I have, and I'm 22 years old, and I don't have as much life, desire in me than those people have. So I think they are an example for us.
You minister to Holocaust survivors, and I can see that it moves you to hear and listen to their stories. Are you worried today that there is this anti-Semitism that's rising, anti-Zionism, which is basically anti-Semitism? Does that worry you that we could be going through the whole load of these things all over again?
Yes, I think so. I think so, because it's very sad to hear, like, knowing the history, how the Holocaust started in Germany, and also coming from the background when I a little bit experienced this glimpse of anti-Semitism. I think I don't understand why people forget and why this hatred is coming into the hearts of the people. Why? But it certainly does. It certainly does. And it worries people. It's first question of the Holocaust survivors when we come and visit them. They say us, why all world hate us? What did we do? Why they hate us? Like, why they just cannot leave us alone. It puzzles them, because they are most kind people that you ever can meet. They most generous people you ever can meet, and their questions very genuine and like with a pain in their voice, and I think I can empathize to them in this, and we don't have an answer. I don't know.
What is your prayer for Holocaust survivors today?
My prayer that they would discover God, that they would find this comfort in Him, that they would find this eternal comfort, knowing God, knowing Messiah, Jewish Messiah. Yes, because I think it's the only comfort. And actually, I think most of them, they doing it, they discovering God. And that's why you cannot be as joyful, as full of life if you don't know God and you don't have faith. And most of them, they do have faith. They do have faith. With our conversation, with what we experience, all of them, they absolutely have faith. Maybe this faith have different expressions to it, but they have a genuine faith in God, and it's what keeps them alive. Yeah.
If people want to help out with the work of visiting Holocaust survivors, what's the CFI website address for people who'd like to know more?
These people now lack attention, and what they need, it's not so much like money. Of course, like, for example, with financial means, we can provide more volunteers, but for them, it's just time, quality time to spend with them. It's what most appreciated, I would say. And of course, the means, what we will get, the financial means, it's what go for that. And of course, when we come and visit them, we never came with them empty-handed. I always bring something little, but it's just an excuse to see them and spend time with them, to embrace them, to learn from them, to be blessed by what they want to tell us, and also to bless them with the love that God has for them, just to be open to each other in that time, that to give God this opportunity to minister to each other, because they are very special people.
Well, Tanya, thank you very much for sharing today.
Oh, it's my privilege. Thank you very much. And excuse me for my accent, for my English. It's not perfect.